Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stay on the Line, a horror genre podcast hosted and created by me, Tara Card, and welcome to Season 2. We have new episodes every Thursday, and we sometimes have special guests, like our first-time guest here, Kelli Green. Hello, Kelli Green.
Hi.
Kelli Green, tell the people who they are. Yeah, who are they?
You're wonderful people. You're beautiful.
Okay, now who are you?
Oh, I'm Kelli Green, Kelli with an I, and I am a writer, and I have 2 books. I also have my own podcast.
What are the books called?
Oh, the books are called, one's called May, like the month May, and it's about a girl who runs away from home. It's like a coming-of-age story. It's a novel. And then I have a short story called Cool. And it's about an 18-year-old boy trying to find his way in life. So,
Is he cool?
he is. At least I think so.
That's not the right response. You have to go like, yeah, you have
How
to
cool is he?
read. No, you have to read it to find out.
Yeah. Read it to find out how cool he is.
Good job, Kelli. Kelli, what are we doing today?
We're going to talk about a movie called Superhost because we just watched it.
Yes.
And it was...
I bullied Kelli over, to come over here. Kelli actually wanted me to watch a different movie, but I do not want to watch it.
That movie is called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
I don't want to watch it. But why is that? Tell the people why that's your favorite movie.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is one of my favorite movies because it is a really good thriller. It has a twist. It's funny. It's interesting. It's a little spooky. It's got everything in it. And one day.
Just when I think
birthday,
of what?
you watch it
For your birthday?
for my birthday.
You don't want to play that infamous singing game that
No,
you
that
love
gives you
so
a
much
headache.
that everyone... I hate that game. I don't know why I hate it so much. I just do. The game is just sing a song with a specific word, and you have to like keep going. Like if the word is mountain, then I had to go ain't no mountain high enough, and then it goes on to Kelli, who has to sing a song with mountain in it.
Up on the mountain, search through the valley. See, and then you.
Yeah, she just made that up. That's not even a song.
I did not. It's actually a song by Charlotte Day Wilson.
Is she alive?
Yes. I hope.
Look it up. But yeah, we're talking about Superhost, which is available on Shudder. I believe it's a Shudder Original. Don't hold me to that. It came out in 2021.
It was a super chill film? Wasn't that what?
The production house, yeah. Super chill. And it is directed by Brandon Christensen. What other movies has he done? Let me see. And this has roughly an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
And a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's kind of low.
Let's see. What has he... This was written and directed by him. So he did the movie Z. Oh, and he did Spiral. Ew, boo.
What's
boo.
Spiral?
Spiral is this movie that was on Shudder that we reviewed for the podcast. Not to be confused with the Book of Saw one, but I did not like that movie.
Did you like this movie?
Well, we will talk about it.
Okay.
So, it was directed by Brandon, and it stars Sarah Canning as Claire. We have Osric Chow as Teddy. Those are our 2 quote-unquote protagonists. Our other person in the movie is Grace Phipps. She plays Rebecca, and very well. What other movies is she in?
She does great.
Let me see what other movies she's in. Teen Beach 2. Teen Beach 1. The Vampire Diaries. The Vampire Diaries.
The Vampire Diaries.
I don't... Scream Queens? She was in Scream Queens, apparently. I don't remember her. Good for her. She did really well on this.
More roles.
The way her... I hope she has, like, a lot of ice, because the way she had to carry this movie on her back, I think just left a lot of...
She's sore.
Yeah. But yeah, give us a non-spoiler synopsis of this movie.
All right, so...
Non-spoiler synopsis of the movie.
Okay. So, basically, there are 2 YouTubers. They're like a couple that review Airbnbs. And that's what their channel is based on. They're a little worried about where the trajectory of their channel will be. So they go on this really special trip that's supposed to be super memorable for the both of them. to a special little Airbnb that somebody recommended. And when they get there, it's not all that it seems. So
everything is not what it seems, and you can get what you want in the simplest of things. If you're on Patreon and seeing this video, then you know what's happening. This is when we're about to get into spoilers. So if you want to watch the movie, just head over to Shudder right now. I think it's like $5.99 a month or $4.99 a month. Shudder, please hook me up with a PR. Just let me know.
Endorsements.
Endorse me, please. We talked. So it starts off the movie basically like a YouTube video of us knowing our. Yeah. No, give us our little demo.
Hi everyone, welcome to Superhost. I'm Teddy.
And I'm Claire, and we're annoying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super.
And then when the cameras are off, they're like, yeah okay, that was good. Yeah. That's basically them, this whole movie. Teddy, how would you describe Teddy?
Teddy wants to be a golden retriever, but instead you just don't want him around.
What does that even mean?
Okay, so you know how like people say you have golden retriever energy, like you're happy, you're great, you're sweet, and everything, and he almost has that energy if he weren't so sad.
If he weren't dating his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's really what
his
makes
girlfriend
me not like
Claire.
She's the worst, and I can't love him too much because he picked her.
I don't really like him because he's just like...
He's pathetic.
He's kind of pathetic, yeah. And Claire is, I guess, the dommy mommy of the two, because Claire is very much like focused. She is determined on getting views. She's determined on getting views. She doesn't care what's happening off camera, but what they can get on camera. And she's like very like critical of his like editing and like, oh, this would be stupid. We're not going to get views if we do this. So like the whole time they are there, she's just focused on views, which their trip is to go to this. Their whole thing is that they go to Airbnbs and I guess they review them or whatever because that's a job.
That's how they pay their bills.
Yeah, that's how they allegedly pay their bills. They really can't because their YouTube is failing. They only have 100,000 subscribers, which to us seems like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, there are YouTubers out there who have 1 million subscribers or 5 million, and I don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme,
for them to have 100K,
100K, bitch, you are not making nothing.
Yeah.
You're not doing nothing. Bitch, get a fucking job.
But I put like that she seems like every time he talks, it's like she hates it. Like literally anything he does for the camera, she's like, I hated that. Mm-hmm. So I just don't even know how they got this far.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like something about them just seems like, and he wants like the whole thing about this trip for him is that he's gonna propose to her. But like the whole time I'm like, bitch, do you want to marry her? Because it seems kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like she's just putting up with him.
Well, she's not necessarily a bad guy, but he's kind of a pushover.
Yeah. Like, I would genuinely like him if he were different.
Wow, if he was white, Kelly? Wow, Kelly. You're canceled.
I guess I'm problematic, so...
You've been problematic. But they eventually get to the house. Their code isn't working. And then they were like, okay, whatever, let's just shoot our initial reactions here. Mm-hmm. And their initial reactions are like, whoa! Oh my god! This is amazing!
Look at this place! And then he starts staring off into the distance like he's seen a demon. And she's like,
yeah.
Teddy?
It doesn't make any sense. She's like, Teddy. And then she pans the camera and then Rebecca is just there.
Yeah.
But we were like, why didn't he say anything like hello?
Because I was thinking like it was gonna be like no one could see her but him or something like that. No, it was just a person.
Yeah. Like right up in her face. She wasn't like miles away.
She's just like, hey, I'm Rebecca.
What the fuck did you just do?
I was trying to
Did the mic even pick that up? She just went into my ear that I have a headphone in and went, so I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
I was trying to show what Rebecca did, but it won't work it won't translate. Okay.
To a podcast. Okay.
But so all the vibes are off. He is still looking at her like she's a demon. Claire is just like, oh, I want to keep filming this video. Please don't talk to us. And then the Rebecca chick is just super happy about nothing. Like,
she's very peppy. She's basically an RA, or like one of those people that takes you around a campus at college.
That's true.
Who's like, hey everyone, I can't wait to show you all 17-year-olds what college is really all about. Like, that's her.
Love it.
But like, really, she would like probably like microwave a hamster in her free time.
Right.
Like, she seems like that kind of girl.
Exactly. So the vibes were off.
When you microwave a hamster, the vibes are off. They eventually get inside the house, but one thing I did notice, because I have watched this movie before.
Oh, okay.
Rebecca says, I had to, because their lock wasn't working, because Betty, they ask her, oh, hi, Betty. She's like, who? And she's like, Betty. And they're like, oh, that's just a fake name. I'm Rebecca, but there actually is a Betty, and there's actually a Lou. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert, they're dead. She killed them. But Betty and Lou gave them Betty, quote unquote, just gave them a code, but the code wasn't working. And then this is when Rebecca says, I had to change the code after the last guest tried to stay longer than they were used to, which was Rebecca.
Yeah, it was Rebecca. She said that they tried to stay for like a month, and she wasn't about that.
Yeah,
so
which is going to come back later. Mm-hmm. And then also there's toilet issues, because that's something that really makes a difference in the movie later on. It's not even explained.
It really, you know what? I didn't get it until the end. I'm like, oh, I guess.
But even in the end, they didn't need it.
Yeah, it was stupid. But I noted that her eyes were very dark, like she had not slept. And also she didn't want to be filmed, but then she was like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine. But like in the same moment, like there was no gap. It was like, don't film me. And then she was like, you said you were okay with it. Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, Claire was like, you said you were fine with it. And then you can see her like wheels turning in her head, because obviously she didn't talk to Claire. Claire talked to someone else. And she's like, oh yeah, I thought that was next week. Sorry. Anyways, like, and then just like plays along.
Makes me wonder what her end game was, but you know, like you said, we'll do that later.
Well, she could have honestly just gave him the code and fucking left, but she stayed. Yep. It becomes like nighttime. Her video's still taking forever to upload. I think this is when, what's his name?
Teddy.
Teddy, is this the day when he's just outside? Yeah, he goes outside in the middle of the night. Like, outside, like unlocks the house alarm and goes outside and just like stares at basically Becca in the night, just waving with like really bright eyes.
Right. Why were her eyes so bright?
For movie purposes.
But what? Okay, but like, humanly, why are her eyes so bright?
Bitch, I didn't edit this movie.
Okay,
It was so stupid. And then he's like watching her the whole time, and then Claire comes up and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I thought I saw something. And then you see Claire look in the distance and there's no one there. But I was like, well, Teddy hasn't taken his eyes off of her, so
how did he miss her? Spoiler alert, she's not superhuman.
She's just a white woman. A crazy white woman. That's her superpower.
Oh.
She'll call the police so fast. Oh, no, before they go to bed, fucking Claire is like, okay, Teddy, we need to go to bed. We have a lot to do tomorrow. And me and Kelly were like, what? Y'all are vloggers in the middle of quote unquote nowhere, right. Even though when they pulled up, I saw multiple mailboxes, so that means that there's neighboring houses. Yeah, but okay.
We gotta go to bed soon. We gotta get up for a busy day.
Yeah, we have to wake up at 8 a.m. and do nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the whole theme every day on this trip that they're on. They're in a rush to do literally nothing. Mm-hmm. And then I wrote that, the cat room. There was a room for cat, and I was trying to figure out, why would you have a room in the Airbnb for a cat?
But there's no cat.
So keep that in mind. Anyway.
Yeah, so it's the next day. Their video has been taking forever to come up. They have a copyright on their channel too, which if you're a YouTuber, you know that's fucking annoying.
And their channel's been suspended. And they think it's some chick from Darber.
A place. A place I don't remember. Darber.
It's Darber.
Draper. Darber. So yeah, they're like, LOL, that kind of sucks. She tries to call. She can't get on the call because they're in the middle of nowhere. Rebecca's still being very weird to them because she's like, she clearly has no social skills. She's like talking to Claire on the phone while Claire's like, okay, bitch, like the toilet's upstairs, go fix the toilet.
Yeah. And she's like, I hope you're having a great time. And she's like, I'm literally on the phone.
I hope you leave a good review. She says that like drink every time she says leave a good review.
Yeah, it's her catchphrase, duh. But I also want to note that they said they lost 12.8K followers, 8,000 followers.
I saw that in my notes too. I was about to say that.
In the last 28 days.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Yeah, so they have like 100,000 plus subscribers, and they lost 12.8 thousand subscribers. So I was like, it would only make sense if people were losing views, like if their views were down.
Like, they would have had to be canceled to lose that many subscribers in that short of amount of a time.
Yeah, I was like, so did she say something racist or something, and that's why their views went down?
She seems like the type. I wouldn't put it past her. She seems kind of terrible. Because, I mean, I'm subscribed to people that probably don't even exist on YouTube anymore. Like, who unsubscribes?
Yeah, like, who cares? Unless they're, like, an asshole.
Right.
That's what I mean.
A reason. You're like, oh, I hate you. Unsubscribe. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think they had to do something specifically bad.
Also, this is when, like, it becomes nighttime because nothing fucking happens on day 2. Because they're like, let's go walk around. And they're like, no, let's go back inside the house. So...
Because she's always in a rush to go home and do nothing.
Yeah, literally nothing. They go back to the house, and Teddy, like, wakes up because he hears something, and then Claire wakes up, and they're like, she's like, I heard that too, and so he goes downstairs to check out what it is.
Isn't holding anything.
Nothing. Just walking around, not giving a fuck. And he goes to the toilet and hears, like, the water going, and then for some reason pulls out dentures. And, like, puts them out.
And I remember at this moment, because I still didn't understand exactly where the movie was going, I was wondering if something was like specifically...
Oh my god. I remember, because I wrote it down. I wrote it down in my notes what you said.
I was thinking that Rebecca was like,
falling apart. That's what you said. Is that girl's body falling apart? That's what you said.
Because the first thing I noticed about her was her eyes were super dark, and now he found teeth in the toilet, so I was like, she dropped her teeth earlier, her eyes falling apart, like I thought she was...
I think that's just how she looks.
Just dying from the outside.
I think that's just how her eyes look,
I don't think so, because they weren't dark in the other scenes. I think
they
now
were.
Knowing... Oh, you think?
They were.
Oh, never mind. Then that takes...
Now you being like, you look like a fucking piece of shit. But yeah, and we don't talk about... He doesn't talk about this toilet really with her. Like, anytime
he just says it's fixed.
Yeah, anytime something weird happens, they're just like, Got it. Next weird thing here. If anyone's been in an Airbnb... When I was in an Airbnb, I did not see the host ever. I just had my key inside my lock, and then that was it. I would communicate with them to be like through message, be like, where do I need to go? Rebecca, on the other hand, needs to be there every single fucking day, because when Teddy goes downstairs on their day 3, she's just down there making breakfast. Like, hey.
Making pancakes.
They're having breakfast, and they're like, LOL, it's so random that she, like, made us breakfast. LOL, like, so random. Mind you, we forgot to mention that there's cameras inside the house, like, very noticeable cameras. And she's like, thanks for the breakfast. And then you hear Rebecca, or Claire says that, and then Rebecca in the camera is like, you're welcome. So you know
that she can hear everything
that you were saying, right? She's listening to you.
Yeah, like, she hears everything, she can see everything, like, that is known. And then, literally, the next scene, Claire is talking shit about Rebecca.
Yeah, she's like, our video's down, but oh my god. Y'all, this bitch is so fucking crazy. She is so fucking gross and stupid. And then Teddy's like visibly uncomfortable, like, bitch, like, I think she can hear us.
And yeah, and she's like, fine, whatever. Like,
yeah.
I understand.
Oh, but that's when a rock interrupts them.
Oh,
something hits the window. Yeah, The Rock Johnson. They go outside, and there's this woman out there, Vera. Mm-hmm. Or Vera, sorry. One of those. And she's like, you, like, their last video apparently, like, fucked up her Airbnb career, and nobody wants to book with her. She's like, I'm gonna have to sell my house. I was like, bitch, what else were you doing? Just being a fucking landlord?
Mm-hmm. That was her life. Okay, yeah. That was her absolute life, and now no one will rent from her because of something they said, which I was really hoping we'd find out, like, exactly what they said. But... Yeah,
well, she was saying, like, these people aren't who they say they are. I'm like, I mean, they're YouTubers, so, like, what did we expect? And then Rebecca shows up, and she's like, fuck you, bitch, I'm gonna cut you open. And then Verna, like, leaves.
Like, oh my god.
What I do like, Verna was like, is this your house? And then Rebecca doesn't respond initially. She just goes like, who are you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I guess maybe at first she wasn't sure who she was and what she was there for. Mm-hmm. And so once she realized she was just there to antagonize them, she was like, okay, I'm going to help you. She then screamed at the top of her lungs and literally no one addressed it.
Oh, she's done that many times. Because the next scene is Rebecca, after she scares off Verna, She's like, all right, I want to do that interview with y'all, which I was like, what interview?
Did anyone
I feel like that wasn't mentioned earlier. So she does this interview and she just screams at the top of her lungs for some reason.
Wait. Before that, they went to the woods to walk again. Because she was like, I can't believe she just told that bitch from Draper to leave. She rocks, but she's also fucking crazy, and we're gonna get the best footage of our lives. Like, that was before the interview. Because I wrote down, Claire's a bad person, and her goal is to exploit people. And now I really want to know what happened to the lady in Draper, because she was all in the woods telling Teddy, like, that was so cool. I can't believe she did that. Like, that was funny. And Teddy was like, not
uncomfortable
really.
By the whole situation. Yeah.
And then they went back to get for her interview.
Yeah. So how that interview goes, they ask her, like, is this your house? Like, how'd you get this house? And she says this isn't her home, that this was her, quote unquote, her father's, that when he died, he gave it to her. She says this, which is like, you wouldn't notice it the first time. She says, I have a place not far from here, much smaller. Which you're like, what does that mean? You find out later she's been living in the basement, because the basement has a sign on there that's like, storage, do not come in. So I thought that was kind of like nice writing there. Yeah. And she gets very emotional about talking about, because they were like, what was the most like important time or your like favorite time here? And she just like literally like freezes speaking. Like, I was like, bitch, when I first watched it, I was like, is there a glitch in here, or am I fucking up something? But no, she just literally freezes while talking. She continues to talk, and then she pauses again, like mid-crying, like frozen, like as if you hit pause on the fucking movie, and then continues, and they're just like, okay, that's weird. And I'm a superhost. We get the title of the movie.
She says that with the crying in her eyes still happening.
But in the next scene, okay, because they're like, I want you to say your name, and then I'm a superhost. So she goes, my name is Rebecca, and I'm a superhost. And she has tears, right? But in the next scene, it's like reviewing the same footage, and she doesn't have tears on her face, and it's a different angle, because she was being shot head on, but was looking here. But that shot was like to the right. Yeah, continuity. Come on.
Issue.
Yep,
but
that's not the only issue in this movie, but before we continue on with our review of Superhost, we're going to go to an ad break. So let's take a break and come right back.
Okay.
And Kelly, you're going to bring us in. And action!
And we are back with Superhost! You'd have to see it to understand.
Yep, and we're talking about the 2021 hit Shudder movie, Superhost. So we're going to continue on.
Then after that, is that when they woke up to go ahead and go on the last hike?
Yeah, I mean, before that, there was just nighttime stuff. They're like, she's crazy. Teddy talks more about his proposal, because that's the whole point of this video and this trip. And then Claire just watches them in their sleep. That's like about it. So they go on this hike. And explain what happens.
So they go on the hike, and this whole time, like Tara said, Teddy has been setting up this proposal. Like, the people who are going to watch these videos, they know about it. Claire doesn't know about it. So he has the camera, he sets it down behind a rock, and first of all, literally anytime they're doing something that's not with the camera, she's agitated. She's like, why are we here? What are we doing? I don't know what this is. So he's trying to keep the romance, but there is none. Anyway, but so he puts the camera on the ground, and he's like, I talked to your dad.
Evaporate her wig.
And I really care about you, all that cute, pretty, I'm about to propose stuff. I'm gonna cut her pearls off.
No, shit in her purse.
Oh, shit in her purse.
Not cut her pearls off.
I thought you said shed her pearls. I didn't know what that meant, but I was down with it. So, anyway.
Kelly, what do you do in your free time?
And then that's when she notices out the corner of her eye that the camera's set up. And so before, well, she was really like bored. Now she's like, oh my god. And like he pulls out the ring and he gets down and all that. And she says yes, and she's so excited. And at first he thinks it's great. And then, she hugs him, and then she's like, this is gonna be great footage. I can't believe you.
Like, Teddy, you're so smart. A secret proposal?
Wow.
This is what we need for views.
Teddy is crushed.
Yeah, he's like, fuck my drag.
Right? Like,
and he's like visibly upset because she's like, wow, this is amazing. And she goes and gets the camera, like after she like shuts off her emotions, and she turns the camera on. She's like, wow, he just proposed. This is the most surprised I ever been. Like, turns it on for the camera, and he's like visibly like putting the camera down, like
Yeah.
no. And she's like, "Oh, you're serious."
Yeah. And
So
she's
Claire's
like,
a bitch.
Claire's the worst. I genuinely hate her. She's so phony. And then she basically is like, "Oh, babe, I didn't know you were serious. I mean, I totally love you, and we can talk about this at home. But like, yay, views." And that was the whole thing.
Yeah, they go back home, and then they pick up the mail, and Teddy's looking at the mail, and he's noticing that there's mail directed for Betty and Lou, which Rebecca never said anything about a Lou. And then, simultaneously, when they're, like, coming inside the house, Claire is, like, looking at their laptop, which is on the floor, and it's just playing the video of of Rebecca, so that shows you that Rebecca has been watching the videos.
Right. But they don't react to that. I literally just put, "She's dumb, bro."
Yeah, they don't really react at all.
Dumb.
And then they're like, Teddy's like, "I think we should leave." And then Claire is like, "What do you mean? This is great content, hunty." Yeah, because the day before, when when Vera had that incident with them, she's like, "Oh, this is good content. We need to actually start recording her."
Right.
And obviously that's why Teddy is like,
crazy.
"Bitch, this is for us."
Right.
But okay,
This
work.
is serious.
But she's insisting on more footage.
She loves footage. She's all about the views. Everything is about views. And like they get in the car though, like Teddy does convince her like, "Nah, we need to go."
Yeah.
So they pack all their stuff, they get in the car, they're driving down the street, guess who's standing in the middle of the street like a weirdo? It's Rebecca. And she's like waving them down. She's waving like a child who doesn't know when to stop waving. Like she just keeps waving. And then so they stop and she's like, "I have a surprise for you. It's in the woods. You gotta come see."
Yeah.
And
no. Not doing that.
I'm
Teddy's like,
that.
"No, we shouldn't do that." And then Rebecca's like, or Claire's like, "Yes, queen.
I love
We
it.
do need to do that, hunty."
Because we're going to get more views because you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
She's a bad person, like I already said. So she's all down with it. She wants to exploit this girl some more. And so she gets her camera and Teddy's along for the ride because he has no spine. So
He really don't.
No.
He's just a fucking wet noodle walking around.
And what's the surprise in the woods?
It's Vera. Vera is there tied to a tree with a bag on her head. And she's like, "You want to have a good video? We're going to give the people a good video." And basically just forces the two. She doesn't even force. They just stand there and don't do anything. And she allegedly stabs Vera in the side on the bottom. And they're like, and she like she's like crying crazy too. Which I wrote down, I was like, "Miss Ma'am is acting."
She went for that.
Vera was acting in this scene because in the grand scheme, this is all a joke. This is a prank that Vera and Rebecca are doing. But it's not so far because they reveal like it was a prank. Rebecca takes Claire's camera and gives it to Vera. And she's like, "Girl, you can just sell this and make your money back." So they're like about to leave. And for some reason,
the dumbest thing you could
they're
do.
so close to leaving.
I wrote, "Teddy, you dumb bastard."
Yeah.
Because, okay, even though that was a prank, yes, she's still very alarming. Everything's very creepy. She's too much. They just stole your camera. They're not giving it back. It's cool. It's whatever. Cut your losses. Go home. But no. What does Teddy do? He asks who Betty and Lou are.
And then you can just see, like, her facial reactions for Rebecca just, like, go to, like, very stale, like, "Oh, look what you fucking did." And then Vera, who's like, "What? Who?" If I was Vera, I'd have been like, "Okay, anyways, that doesn't retain any information to me. I don't care." Yeah, so she's like, "What? Hello? I don't understand." And then...
You know what? That's a good point. That is weird. Like, why are you so invested? You don't like them. You don't
know who
her.
they are.
Like... Who are Betty and Lou? I don't give a rat's booty. I'm gonna go sell this camera and I'm going home. Like, I don't care about it. I don't know Betty and Lou.
Bitch, go kill them.
Right?
Go kill them. I don't give a fuck. And so she's like, "What?" And then Rebecca's like, "I'm so sorry." And then just stabs her right in from like the inside of the cheek, like the front, like from down up into the head, and just stabs her multiple times.
I have never seen a knife do that to a face, and I never want to again.
Yeah, it was pretty gruesome. I would say that was the best death of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the others were not.
They were pretty lackluster.
Yeah, so the other two, instead of doing anything, they just watch.
Just stand there.
And then Rebecca's like, well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And the other two just run away. Instead of running to the car, because they have keys, they instead run back to the house. And even Claire is like, shouldn't we run back to the car? And Teddy goes, no, she might be there. So let's go to the house that she lives in.
See, this is what I mean. Like, I want to like Teddy, but he is the dumbest, most spineless, colossal waste of air.
Why would you go? You could honestly outrun her, right? And there's two of y'all. Right. I mean, y'all are stupid, can't get you though. Both. At least one of y'all would make it to the car, right?
Right.
She doesn't have the keys to the car. However, she has the locks and keys and cameras to the house that they decided to just hide in.
How I don't understand at all how that was a good idea. There was no way they were getting out of the house. Like, it wasn't even, it's already bad when people run back into their house, but it's her house.
Yeah. It literally made no sense. So they go to the house
and just stand there.
They just stand there. They don't grab any weapons. They just stand there and they're like, huh.
What do we do?
This is random. And then they just wait for her basically to come back. Because Teddy leaves the house to try and call, but he gets scared from branches breaking. And what is the line he says?
I can't do this. I'm not a hero. I'm a vlogger. This is why. I hate you.
Honestly, when I first watched this movie, I put it on when I was with a man. And I just woke up. Not woke up. Yeah, damn, that shit was good. It knocked me out. No, I moved my head up and saw, and I thought honestly they were just friends and that he was gay. So finding out that they were a couple the second time around, I was like, oh yeah, there was no chemistry at all. Yeah. But what's her name does show up.
Oh yeah, Rebecca shows up at the house
because Claire has the biggest idea to be like, oh well, let me just set off the alarm, which I was like, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. But
she has the things that
she has the alarm code.
And Claire looked so proud of herself. Poor baby. She was like, oh, yeah.
She said, if 2 + 2 is 4, I got this, baby.
She keeps turning it off, and then she's just in the window with the knife. She's bloody and everything. And then so they just stand there. They literally just stand there. And then they go through a house. Claire says she's going to try to find another way out.
Yeah, through the basement. Which I was like, if you're going to find another way out, Teddy, why doesn't Teddy come?
Yeah, you guys should just both come. She told him to watch the doors.
To watch the windows, right? What he does is he finally gets like a fire poker and just stands in front of a camera and looks at it as Betty. Not Betty. Rebecca. Ooh, same person. Betty, As Rebecca just talks to him.
And Betty, no.
Claire. No, yeah, Claire.
Claire's in the basement and she finds a computer and she sees that she's been
That's her computer, I think.
Yeah, it's Rebecca's computer and she sees everything that Rebecca.
No. I think that's Claire's. Is it Claire's computer?
No, it's like an actual desktop.
It looks the same though. No, it was a laptop, girl.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then her computer is in the basement.
Someone's computer was in the basement, and apparently Rebecca has been living in the basement.
Yeah, we see that. And so Claire tries to do a live video where she's asking for help.
Not even a live. But she should, like...
That's right.
She records it. But why didn't she just go live?
Oh my god.
Because it's on YouTube.
Stupid.
She could... Because the internet is slow, but if you go live, they can still see it. Yeah.
So she doesn't go live. She records herself though. Please help us. Like she said, she owned this place, but she doesn't, and she's a murderer. And
meanwhile, there's a whole dialogue going between Rebecca to Teddy, and she's just explaining that she killed Betty and Lou and the cat, and that the cat put up a better fight than those two. Which the cat put up a better fight than anyone in this fucking movie.
Kudos to the cat. They deserve to live because they're the only person that was probably smart.
That was the final girl. As she's giving that monologue, she basically is just like, and you're both gonna die, and walks in on Claire in the basement, and Claire just stands there, and then we hear a scream, and Teddy goes to the basement, and
Claire!
He's like, Claire, no, don't do this to Rebecca. And Rebecca just is like, LOL, and just slices her neck open. So we're like, damn, that's Claire. She gets the most unsatisfying death.
And then Teddy, after she slices her neck open, I get the shock, sure. But nope, then he just stands there.
And gets stabbed.
Yep.
Like he doesn't swing the fire poker.
Nope. He just lets her come straight up on him. You would think you couldn't get that close to someone with a poker in their hand, but you can if it's Teddy, because he won't move.
Yeah.
And she stabs him in the side, then he runs out and closes the door and just sits on the stairs for a little while and yells, "Stop it!"
Yeah. And the thing about the door to the basement is the lock is on the inside. So I was like, why isn't there a lock on the opposite side of the door, too?
Man, it would be weird.
Because if there's a lock on the inside, that's insinuating there's another exit.
I don't know. Well, he does crawl up the stairs.
He crawls up the stairs and he makes it outside and falls on the floor, and then that's when we see Rebecca's little like hiding hole where she comes out. She's like, "Oh, hey, Teddy," and just chases him down, and he passes out by the car. He's like trying to get in the car, and he doesn't even have the fucking keys. And she's toying with him because she finally has the keys, and it's just unlocking the car and locking it.
Well, he passes the hell out. He checks out on his own and passes out against the car. And then Rebecca marches up there, and she's like, "Teddy, where are you?" And then she sees him passed out, and she's just like, "Oh, cool." And then like films him, and then she takes the ring out of his. Rebecca, you know what? At this moment, I'm like on the team for Rebecca. I guess
Team Rebecca, yeah.
She's giving great entertainment.
Acting down. She is acting down.
Yes, she takes out the ring out his pocket, and she's like, "Oh my god, yes, Teddy!" And then like, I mean, everything is pure just drama. And then she's like, "Okay, well, I guess I gotta, finish killing you," because she could feel like he still had a little pulse. But it's not like he was faking. I thought he was trying to fake so he could like grab her or something. No, bro was just passed out. So she stabs him in the chest, and that's the end of Teddy. And
she also takes the ring, and I didn't notice it until my second time really watching it, that her necklace that she has multiple rings on it. So now she took that ring and then put it around her neck too. I was like, oh, okay. Then this insinuates that she's done this multiple times. She probably has Betty and Lou's ring on there too.
Probably. She takes him back to the house.
Yeah, and she's like cleaning up, and then
she logs onto the computer. Yeah, I guess it is her computer, because she can see that they've uploaded some other videos. Then she sees the one that she uploaded about "Someone help me." Well, the comments...
Claire. She sees the video that Claire uploaded, and the comments are like,
"Girl again? Shut up. We hate you.
Yeah,
you're fake.
Clickbait. This isn't real.
Stupid bitch, I'm unsubscribing."
Yeah, and then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Kelly, how'd you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I've seen worse. So I think overall, I like the plot. Like, I like the idea of it. I just wish they could have made the protagonist more likable.
Yeah, I just wish that the characters were like, I was like, you don't necessarily have to be, or just more fleshed out. Yeah. Like, they have a personality.
Right, because Claire, I mean, yeah, neither of them have a personality. All I can really think of Claire is jerk, and all I can think of Teddy is weak. Like, I don't have any other opinions on their personas, but I like the idea of it, and I kind of wish we could get like a teaser or a glimpse of what's next for Rebecca.
I would like a sequel. I think if they like actually took the feedback for this, they could make a sequel that's good.
Because she's a funny chick. I'll watch her do this again.
It reminds me a lot of the movie Creep, which we reviewed on this podcast, which is very similar. I think Creep is better because the whole point is to make you uncomfortable, and this movie is just like, you're just frustrated with the character choices. Like, I was like, they could have had these characters more likable and had better choices and still had the same outcome.
Right,
you know what I mean?
They still could have died.
They still could have died.
In the fight, they didn't put up a fight. That's the thing. Like when he gets to the basement, I was just so sure that she was gonna get roughed up a little. Like, he was gonna hit her with a poker.
A fighting scene of some sort.
Yeah, there is no fight. And that really bugged me, because most people would fight for their lives a little bit. Oh, Teddy's so pathetic. Like, how do you get that close to somebody with 2 feet long poker?
Yeah, and don't swing. Why aren't you swinging?
Nope.
Is she gonna grab it? She's not that fucking strong unless you're really that like a bitch.
She's really that weak. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so I like to ask this sometimes. Do you think you would have survived this movie?
I think I would have had a chance, because the minute that she was acting wacky during the interview, the next day I would have quietly left and I would have pretended I was coming back when she tried to stop me.
Oh, that was the big thing, because when they are stopped in the middle of the street, she's like, "Where are you going?" And Teddy goes, "Oh, yeah, we decided to leave early." No, Mimi. Me and Kelly were like, why not just say, "Oh, we're going to go grab some food and come right back."
Right. Like, you don't have to tell... You don't tell the killer all your business. Like, I don't understand. And, I mean... So, no, yeah, I think I would have survived because I just would have minded my gosh darn business and been like, well, this was weird. I'd like to go home now.
Yeah, and also the moment that this bitch keeps showing up at the house and is inside the house while we're sleeping, I'd have been like, it's a wrap. It's not worth it out here.
Right. When I woke up and there were pancakes, that would have been the last hour.
I mean, but she was there. She was like, "Hey, girl."
Yeah.
Also, she was listening to them. I would have been like, no.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Would you have survived?
Yeah. The same reasons. I'd have been like, because I've been to an Airbnb, and if someone was like literally in the same space that I was sleeping and they were a stranger, I might as well go sleep in a hotel.
Yeah, forget it. Honestly, this one wouldn't have been hard to survive. Or I wouldn't have fucking asked who Betty and Lou were after this crazy chick just pretended to stab a bitch in the woods. I'd have been like, I want to go home. Like, I don't need to
I would have filed a missing person.
Right. Once I got home, I would have
I also wouldn't
contacted somebody.
If a stranger goes, "Hey, follow me into the woods so I can show you something." I'm not gonna do it, bitch. I'm not gonna do it.
That's the thing. There was no sense of self-preservation. And Homegirl's all about the views. Teddy is just...
fighting for his life.
Yep.
Except for actually fighting for his mental life, because when it came to actually fighting for his life, it was not good.
Survey said no. Did you enjoy it, though?
It was okay. Yeah. There's worse movies that I have watched in the past week, but that was a good one. I also watched this movie called Seance, which I need a review for this podcast. It was so good. I loved it, even though the reviews are like middle of the road, but I enjoyed it. You should watch it too if you got Shudder. If you got Shudder, watch it. And I also watched Hell House LLC. That one was good. But I watched some other movies in between, like The Bunker Game. Ugh.
The Bunker Game.
I hated that movie. There was also another one that I hated, but I don't even remember. Off Season. Off Season sucked. The trailer looked so good, but it wasn't good. That came out this year too.
This one is a 90s. It's more of a thriller than a scary. But have you ever seen Single White Female?
You looking right at her?
Ooh, girl.
Never seen that movie, so are we about to spoil it right now?
Not really. It's just a girl that kind of... She's way too intense, and she moves in with this other girl, and she's just...
Oh, lesbian.
Kinda. There's like a vibe. There's a vibe.
If no one's kissing, I don't care.
Do they kiss? They do kiss once. It's not the vibe that you're looking for.
You know what is a vibe?
What's a vibe?
Kelly, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok at @GreenIvy_KG. Or... Why are you laughing at me?
No, keep going.
Or
keep going.
Instagram or Twitter at Kellogg's8495+. Stop! It's KELOGGS8495+. Could I have come up with easier names? Probably, but I didn't. So this is where you can find me, and I would like it if you found me.
My username is QRXTURLMNLP 1982 XYZ. You're like a fucking password on a router, bitch.
Okay, GreenIvy_KG is not that hard. It's not that hard. The TikTok is the easiest one.
Why weren't you just Kelli Ivy Green?
Well, now you ask me that.
Well, you can change it. It's not too late.
Okay.
You don't gotta do it now. I've
got 400 and something followers, so I don't want them to get shocked and not know who I am anymore. But
that's so fun. Okay, is that so? What's your Twitter?
My Twitter is KELOGGS8495+. It's like the word
PLEUS.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching the movie with you. I still think that you should watch Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and so should your followers.
All two of them.
But no, I enjoyed this, and I hope I was some sort of fun for your listeners. The movie was cool. Don't be dumb. If you're ever in the situation, don't be dumb and leave when you think you should leave. So
the door is right there, Kelly. No, I'm just kidding.
Shit.
And I'm Tara Card. That's TerrahCard. And you can find me under most platforms under that name. You can find this podcast on Twitter, Stay on the Line TC, Facebook at Stay on the Line, and then on Instagram at Stay on the Line Podcast.
Oh,
we also have a Patreon. I'm speaking now, Kelly. You had your time. I said anything else and you didn't say it. And you can find this podcast on Patreon at patreon.com/Stay on the Line. Kelly, what do you have to say?
You can find my podcast, Pick It Apart, on any place you do podcasts. So, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder who inspired you.
It was a person named Tara Card. I don't know if you know them.
I heard she's a bitch. Let's read my patrons. Okay, so we're going to shout out our patrons.
Yay.
Starting off at the Ghosted tier, we have... Jaja. Jaja, I did not know you were... Oh, wait, you changed your name. Okay, we got Jaja Gabor at our Ghosted tier, as well as Andrea B. I'm not going to say the last name because I learned my lesson. Jeremy C. And then at our Miss Caller tier, we have Intern Paula, Mystic Lee, Naughty by Nathan, Sabrina T. That's it for the Miss Caller tier. And then at our Pee Pee Poo Poo tier, we have AJ U, Caitlin B, Willow Whisper. Shout out to Willow. We have Kiki. We have Rock R. MyFriend.com. Brandon W. Keith W. My friend Pobre. Zincat. Coronation. Winnie. And Rebecca Carlson from It's All Gone Terribly Wrong. So if you want to join the nation, the Stand on Line Nation, we are going to start doing commentary tracks. We should do one.
Ooh,
do you want to do it? Maybe we can do a commentary track for it, the baby, whatever.
Wow, the baby.
Yeah,
that's not the baby. That's my baby.
So stupid. That being said, I'm Tara Card.
I'm Kelli Green.
And make sure you stay on the line. Bye.
Bye.